So Mark shares this, and I think this sums it up. Andrew Lawrence is part of Media Matters for America, and they say, I have watched the first seconds of this at least 100 times. It's better than porn. Why do they feel that way? Well, let's find out.
But are you suggesting, you keep saying propping up zombie companies. Are you arguing to let airlines, for example, fail?
Yes.
Yeah. Let them. That's exactly all these big businesses that we're supposed to genuflect at the altar of. You're saying let them fail? Yeah. That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying they don't get a bailout. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that the era of socialism for the rich and rugged capitalism for everyone else has got to go. Good answer. Good answer from this person. Here, let's watch more of this.
Why? I mean,
why? Why? That's how this works. We genuflect to the corporatocracy and they make up all the rules. And they own the media as well. So we just we're their mouthpiece. Why would you say we can never book you again? Why? What a clueless answer. Why? Why would you say that? We're owned by Comcast. Why would you say something like that? What do you mean?
How does that make sense in the broader scheme of the economy?
Because it's not, because when you look at what it means, this is why I'm saying, this is a lie that's been purported by Wall Street. When a company fails, it does not.
Wait, he's suggesting Wall Street might not always tell the truth. That's pretty radical. I've never seen this video before, by the way. We're watching this for the first time. But let's see here. This person is boldly suggesting that Wall Street might not always have our best interest in mind. Let's go on.
Not fire their employees. It goes through a packaged bankruptcy, right? If anything, what happens is the people who have the pensions inside those companies, the employees of these companies, end up owning more of the company. The people that get wiped out are the speculators that own the unsecured tranches of debt, or the folks that own the equity. And by the way, those are the rules of the game. That's right, because these are the people that purport to be the most sophisticated investors in the world. They deserve to get wiped out, but the employees don't get wiped out. The pensions don't typically get wiped out.
Why does anybody, I just don't understand, why does anybody deserve, using your word, to get wiped out from a crisis created like this? How does anybody deserve to get wiped out?
Well, but just be clear, who are we talking about? We're talking about a hedge fund that serves a bunch of billionaire family offices. Who cares? Let them get wiped out. Who cares? They don't get the summer in the Hamptons. Who cares?
I mean, there are people. You don't think the employees?
Hold on, Scott.
You don't think the employees of these companies own stocks? I mean, own their stocks, own the company's stocks?
You can look on Bloomberg and you can see what percentage of these companies are typically owned by. These things are owned by BlackRock. These things are owned by these huge, amorphous organizations. Ultimately, downstream, and the employee owns a few $100s or a few $1,000s of shares.
I just don't understand. This is like a natural disaster. And why does anybody deserve to get wiped out? Wouldn't that be immoral in and of itself?
No, because what's happening right now is what I'll tell you is on Main Street today, people are getting wiped out. And right now, rich CEOs are not, boards that had horrible governance are not, hedge funds are not, people are. 6 million people just this week alone basically saying, holy mackerel, I don't know how I'm going to make my own expenses for the next few weeks, days, months. So it's happening today to individual Americans. And what we've done is disproportionately prop up and protect poor performing CEOs, companies, and boards. And you have to wash these people out.
So as of right now, I only have one question, and this is kind of more of a mechanical question. Can I make that entire segment my ringtone? Now, I know that's a long ringtone. You're thinking, Ron, you want a 2.5-minute ringtone? That's really long. I would pick it up, like my big thing is right when he says, yeah, I would pick it up. Like, are you saying these companies should be wiped out? Yeah, I am. Why? Well, because that's not, he just explained how it works. He just explained that the people who are really getting bailed out right now is Wall Street. And what is that? That's a bunch of amorphous companies that actually own everything. And it's their shares that are being protected, not the workers. And this host who is deliberately being a mouthpiece for the establishment, these financial experts, they know how it really works. They understand how Wall Street really works. So he knows what he's saying, and he's being debunked in real time. And he knows there's nothing he can do about it. He has to just take it. He's like, well, isn't it immoral for anyone? And he's like, no, because these are rich CEOs. These are speculative investors. These aren't the people. The people don't have the stocks. The people are the employees. The people are the essential workers. That's what he's saying. He's saying, let Wall Street get wiped out because this system is inherently corrupt anyway. That's what he's saying. Well said. And gee, is he right? Is he right when he said towards the end, when he said, gee, working people are getting wiped out? Which is true, by the way. But is there, what backs that up? Well, check this out. Check out this screenshot that Edwin shared. By the way, it's just coincidental that Mark shared what Mark shared and Edwin shared what Edwin shared. But here's what Edwin shared. Look at this. Look at that bottom thing. More than 16 million Americans have lost jobs in 3 weeks. The Dow's best week since 1938. So investment is high. Why? Because they're getting bailed out. Well, there's a number of reasons Wall Street's doing good right now. One, they're getting bailed out. They're getting trillions. They're getting all these government handouts with our federal government participating in it while workers are just getting left out in the cold. We're getting screwed. Two, another big thing. The only threat to their status quo, as far as the White House is concerned, is gone. Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders was the only threat to their status quo. He suspended his campaign. That threat is now gone. Wall Street investment went up the day Bernie announced. Because now that either Donald Trump or Joe Biden's going to be in the White House, either way, they're fine. So speculation's up. The Dow's best week since 1938, when more than 16 million people have lost their jobs. So people that are saying what that guy was saying on CNBC, that, yeah, let's let these investors fail. Let's let these Wall Street speculators fail. Because by bailing them out, you're allowing stuff like this to continue. Wait, I'm doing it wrong. You gotta, yeah, you're allowing stuff. See, I'm pointing the opposite. You're allowing stuff like that to continue. Because Wall Street isn't actually connected to our economy. But you're fed this lie that it is. You're fed this lie by entities like CNBC, and I guarantee that gentleman, he'll never be invited on that network again. At least I'd be shocked if he was. The only way they'd bring him in is if they want to try to set him up. You know what I mean? Like if they want to try to get him in a gotcha moment. That's the only way they'd ever have that guy on again. So they might have him on again. But you're fed this lie that like, oh, well, investment's up, confidence is up, so the economy's doing great. You're fed that lie by all these financial shows. And it's nonsense. It's nonsense because there's not a connection between the working class, Main Street, and Wall Street, and these speculators and these investors. And a handful of companies own everything. They own all of the biggest corporations in this country. They own the media. They've bought out your politician. They've bought out your judges. They own it all. It's a handful of companies behind the scenes with a handful of billionaires that own everything. And that guy was saying, yeah, let them fail. Don't hand them trillions. Instead, actually help workers. And that host, again, willing mouthpiece of the establishment, is saying, well, isn't it immoral to let? No, it's not. It's not, because under our current system, stuff like this happens. Stuff like that. Stuff like that happens. This is the system we have. The Dow has its best week since 1938, when 60 million Americans have lost jobs in 3 weeks. Because Wall Street investment is not connected to our economy. It's a handful of nameless, well, not nameless, but, faceless entities and these billionaires that own everything. And don't be fooled. Don't be, well, I have a buddy who has a couple dollars of stock in Mattel. That's not the point. That's not the big picture here. What he's saying is let these investors fail, because when a company, quote unquote, fails, it's not the employees that take the brunt anyway. It's the shareholders. He explained how they would go through bankruptcy. Man, thank you, Mark and Edwin, for sharing that. That was a nice little double dose of connections. I appreciate it.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it